In the last video, we learned how to make quick animation in Scratch using some of the basic blocks of code that Scratch provides. In this video, we're going to start making it into an interactive game. So, let's start making it. Right now, we have it when you hit this little play button, he runs across the screen. And that's okay, but we want it to be a little better, so it's more interactive. So first I'm going to switch this starting thing up here to when space key pressed. Now I have to hit the space key in order to start his run. And that is a good start because it's the first interaction you've made with a Scratch game. Unless you've used Scratch before. Otherwise that doesn't count. You've probably made like 5 million other ones. But now we don't want to have this forever here. We want it to be whenever key space pressed, right? So now what I'll do is I'll go into control, add another if then statement, and now that'll be inside my forever block. And now I'm going to go here to key space pressed. So now when I run my code, I hit space, 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 and he hit the edge. Now he's still running. You can just hold down the space bar, but don't do that. That's cheating. Come on. Make it more like thrilling, where you have to keep hitting the space bar over and over and wear out your finger. Yeah, so that's pretty much the first interactive game you've made, but it wouldn't be as fun without some competition. And that brings us to part 2, adding the competition. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so now we're going to try to add some competition to this little sucker. So let's stick him down here near the bottom, right about there. And so his foot's just touching the starting line like that. And now let's reset this starting position to that. You should have remembered how we did this. And now it'll look like this. Space, 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 space. Run that race, run that race, run that race. Huh, huh. So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, actually. But now we want to add some competition. So I'll click this little new sprite icon right here. And you can import other sprites from your camera or paint it, or you can import it from a file. But I'm just going to stick with one of the sprite library. So wow, there are a lot of sprites here. Just look at all these. So what you can do with all these is a lot of stuff. But I want to get something that kind of matches with the theme of Scratch. So I'm going to select Pico walking because he's going to be running a race. And now we have a big giant Pico right here. And by the way, a little insider super cool thing I figured out. If you go to animals, I think they're in animals. I don't know if they count as an animal. No, wait, hang on. Where are they? If they're in things, I'm going to be sad. Ugh. Okay, hang on. Okay, they're in people, I bet. What? Where are they? Okay, so we have Giga. Remember these. Giga, Nano, Pico, and Terra. Well, if you didn't realize this when I started saying off the names, they are all kinds of bytes. Picobyte, terabyte, gigabyte. So that's just a quick little thing I figured out that I just thought was kind of cool. I don't know if you did. So what I can do with this sprite here is I'm going to click on this shrink icon up on the top, and I'm just going to click our sprite here. I'm going to keep clicking it until he's about the same size as our Scratch guy. So that looks pretty good. So I'm going to position him right up here. So his foot's right on the starting line. And now, right when I want to hit the space bar, because that's how we start the whole game, I want him to do that loop that our Scratch guy was doing. So I'm just going to copy this in there. And a quick way to do that is you just click the top bit of the code, and you just drag and drop it onto Pico. And you might think it removes it from the code that it was originally in, but it doesn't. It just copies it into my Pico. So now you can see I have it in here. And that's another helpful thing. So I'm just going to delete this if key space press. So now it'll look like this. Go, 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 go. Oh, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. Ugh, he won. Oh, so you see what happened there? He's walking in circles. He's cheating. That's what he's doing. So remember, we have to go info and switch his rotation so it's not in a circle. It's in a straight line back and forth. So now if we hit space, 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 space. Oh, so he doesn't start at the beginning either. So we can still fix that. So we have to copy these over. Oops. We have to copy this over 2. And now we'll stick this back on. And so now we can stick that in there. Go to, I want him to actually go to there. I think so. Yeah, I think that's where he is originally. So now he looks like this. But look, he has a head start. He's cheating. That is because we have to still fix it. So I want his foot to be right on the starting line. So he goes way too fast. It's not really fun for the person playing. I could just make it, to make it a little bit more intriguing for the players, I could just change his speed down a little bit. So now you'll see I'm slowly overtaking him. And I want to actually make it so that when they hit the edge, everything stops. So if touching edge, I want to select stop all. And I'll do the same for my cat over here. Okay, so now what I want to happen, if touching edge, I want to stop all. But first, I'm going to broadcast a message. I'm going to broadcast the same message here. And now comes the cool part. I'm going to create a new sprite with the paint. And I'm going to switch it to vector. I always select vector unless I'm making like a pixel art thing. Because vector means it's all smooth stuff everywhere. So I'll make a text and I'll say Scratch Cat 1. Oops, wrong thing there. So Scratch Cat 1 I could put. But what if Scratch Cat didn't win? Well, I'm going to create a new costume by simply duplicating the original costume I have. And I'm going to replace the text with Pico 1. So now it'll look like something like this. Scratch Cat 1 or Pico 1. I want it to actually say who won. So, a really cool way to do this is I'll have it so when this space key's pressed, I want to hide. So it's not visible. It's like hiding. So I'm going to drag it to right here, because down here looks like a cool place for that. But I'm going to say when I receive message 1, because if you'll see here, we broadcast message 1. So down here in the events tab, if I select when I receive message 1, I could say switch costume to, this is the harder part, because you have to think, well, what if he hits it? So I'm going to make a new message for when he hits it. I'm going to say Pico 1. Okay. And with this, I'm just going to, so I don't have message 1 and Pico 1, I'm just going to make a new one that says Scratch 1. Okay, so there we go. So now we have 2 little messages here. So now, when I receive Scratch 1, I'm going to switch costume to 1, because as you can see, that's the one that says Scratch Cat 1. I'm going to switch to 1, and I'm going to show. But when I receive Pico 1, I am going to switch costume to costume 2 and show. So now let's see how this goes. So I think I'm gonna win. 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 Boom! Scratch Cat 1. Now I'm gonna let Pico win. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running, and boom! Pico won. So you can see how it works. And that is your first game in Scratch.